Okay, I got two. It's been to my class before, right there. Who else was it? Where was it? Oh yeah, that's right. You were here last year, weren't you? Did you learn anything? No. See, I didn't think you did.
Let's try it again.
Huh? Try it again. Second time through. All right. It says I always emphasize the ability to pick any string and combination strings at any time. Because all the teaching I do, if I can sit for hours and show people stuff you can't play. And why can't you play it? How many here you got tablature at home right now? We got a song tabbed out and you got the tablature. You got something stacked up? How big's your stack of tablature now? Got a big stack. How many of those can you sit down, put up on your music stand and sit there and play?
Right off the bat?
Yeah, right off the bat. I ain't got time. The band ain't going to wait.
A few.
A few. All right. So that was a process to get those few under your belt, right? Because what you did, you brought home the sheet of tablature and you set it up on your thing and you started working on it, didn't you? All right. All right, and you slowly, by rote, over and over, you finally got to play the first measure, right? I mean, this is how you guys have been practicing for years. Me too. That's what I did. I was somewhere about that high. But my first lesson, I came back and played everybody a song. I was 8 years old. I didn't know you wasn't supposed to be able to do that. Nobody told me that. But now I've caught up. If you were my student, you came to me the first day and said, I want to learn to play steel, the first thing I'd do is set you down at the guitar. We'd show you how to put the picks on and everything, and I'd have you sit at your guitar, and this hand would remain in your lap. Because this hand sliding the bar does no good without this heart. The most important part of a stringed instrument is picking the string, is to make it vibrate. That's how they work, period. There's no way around it. Because I know what it's like to sit and have tablature. First thing I ever got, somebody give me Jeff Newman music to get C6 by. All right? Hold it. Oh, I love that. Do-do-do-do-do-do, boom, bum, ba-dum, bum. All right. Do, do. All right, what was that again? Right? And then you forgot what you just learned. Yeah, there's the problem. And it's like, and the next day you've got do-do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, you get up next morning, go to your guitar and say, okay, I'm going to play that. And you go, now what was that again? I mean, and half the problem is like remembering what could be why, because you're trying to play exactly what's on that paper. So you got to memorize that, and you have untrained hands to do it with. Your hands are not trained. How many here play electric guitar first and then move to steel? All right, you have sort of like semi-trained, but what do you use? Flat pick? Thumb style. Thumb in 1, 2. Well, you had a little leg up on most of them, because I tell you, I can go to some of these, get them all on a guitar, and they can't use this finger. It's all this, thumb and 2. Okay, well, you play me a C chord with your thumb and second finger. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with playing a chord with 2 fingers? Because it takes 3 notes, right? How about if I want to play a major 7th chord, how many notes? That's why I have the extra pick. So, through the years of Joe banging his head against the wall, taking a step back, and walking right back into the wall, right? Does that sound like one of your practice sessions? You know, I've been there. It's the hardest, most frustrating thing in the world. So I said, man, this is crazy. So them 32 moves that I broke them down. I said, okay, let's just start. Where do we start? But anyway, you take those 32 moves, break them down. I just went singles. Okay, just your thumb. Learn how to use your thumb. I got a DVD, it's about those moves, where it's just me sitting there and I show you, all right, take your thumb and learn to pick a string. Okay. But the human body, when I say, okay, now I want you to do that with the first finger, that's a whole new move to your body. Okay, now do that with the second finger. Okay, you think, well, I can work my thumb, I can work my first finger, and I work my second finger. I got this down. And I say, okay, now I want you to play your thumb and 2 at the same time. Boom, to your body and your brain, that's a whole new move. It's like, and that's why I have you separately learn everything. My theory is if you can building blocks of learning, of movement, because it's going to take, when you get all done, how long have you been playing? 5, 6 years. Same? Same? 10 just off and on, under the bed, out of the closet, on the thing. I hate to get out of here. All right, yeah. Been there. I've quit playing steel guitar 2,000 times. But the thing is, I've started 2001, so we're still good. Have a bad night on the gig, I'm quitting. I'm never playing again. Well, here I am. You know, you just can't get it out of your system. But what I found, and trust me, I'm playing 7 nights a week, making a living playing one of these, and I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. I just did it because I've been doing it since a little kid. I didn't know how to 1, 3, 5, get a C, you know, all the formulas for chords and what's a major, what's a minor. I knew the difference between a major and a minor. I wasn't totally deaf, you know. It was like, one's sad, one's not quite so sad, right? But I got to where I could just physically had such a hand that I could play things, but then you always, you know, you've heard this before, you've heard it. How many here play by ear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, all right. Put your ear down there and play me something. Okay, right. We hear with our ears and we play with our hands. That's why I always will stress the fact that it will always come back to your hands. Period. Period. I don't care if you know every bit of 1, 3, 5. I know every chord there is. Okay, play it. So that's what I stress. That's my whole thing. Now, eventually, my first seminar I ever give, it was like nothing but the right hand and left hand. That's all I did for like 6 hours. And these guys were like, oh, man. One guy, and they come back the next year going, thank you, Joe, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because like even the weekend guys who just played part-time, they saw what you can play now. I don't care. I don't know what anybody's level in here is, but what your level is right now. The licks you already know. That if I said, all right, play me a lick, boom, you knock it out. If you work on your hands, that lick's going to become easier. It's all going to become easier. So I'm going to go over here. Man, I never even got my picks out. We don't need picks. Why? Because you got fingers. But if I show you that thing right there, and I'm just going to put them on the bottom 3. So what I'm talking about is for my thumb. That's all. That's the first move you need to know. But then I would set and go. And if I screwed up, I'd slow it down even more. And now, but the key to my playing is, did you see the other fingers, what they were doing the whole time the thumb was working? What? They're going back down. They're going back on the strings every time. I set them back down. I'm going to have my picks to play the old style. Hold on. I got them in here in my pill case. That's another thing I recommend. Get you, for your picks, get you like your old pills. So I'd take my thumb pick. We have the picks on. And now, everybody says, well, Joe, you just teach pick blocking. No. My theory is I'm trying to eliminate too much of this. It's not how you block, it's how much movement you have in the stroke. In other words, if I'm going, I'm exaggerating, but you see what I'm saying about every time you watch them play and they're doing this. See, let's see. And they only get so fast. You're going to run up against the wall. So what I've done, all right, thumb. all with your thumb. In other words, different rhythms. And what would be the next logical single movement? First finger. No, no, no. Everybody teaches thumb too, this. So if I'm going to play traditional pedal steel, see where my first finger is? I'm doing that on purpose, but they hold, you've seen them. You've watched them play where they got their finger out like that. And every once in a while they want to play a chord. Same thing the way I would do it. Fingers do the walking. In other words, I'm about eliminating as much of this as you possibly can. I know you got to come up to go to the neck. If you're moving, you got to come up. Your hand has to come up a little bit. The smaller you make the movements here, the faster you'll play. So we're going thumb, 1. Small moves. 2. Thumb 1, 2. Everything's logical. So my first DVD, Secrets, called Secrets of the Right Hand. Get it? Right hand? Right? Joe, right? Yeah, the right hand. Thank you. So I go through my singles. Ones, I'm doing them way too fast. When you practice these at home, I can sing them notes in my sleep. The tuning of an E ninth. How many know your tuning? How many know your notes on your guitar? What's your third string tuned to? Yeah, you know what I mean? The names of the notes. All right, well, you'll see how I can show you how to know where every note on your guitar is. We got that coming up next. But right in the first hour, I'll tell you what, no matter how much music I show you guys, and I can show you, if you want, I'll just sit here and we'll throw away the book and I'll start writing out licks. But of course, I'm going to watch you, I'm going to make you play something for about 30 seconds and I'm going to go up there and start writing out licks you can't play. Because I can watch your hands and know what you can do physically, what licks are at your disposal. You hear what I'm saying? I'm trying to take it to a whole nother level where it's more than just about what's at your disposal. It's like, well, how many, what's possible? Because that's the kind of licks I want to play. You know, Jimmy Day and Emmons and them guys already played all the cool licks. I have to make up my own. So the only thing I had two choices. I could reinvent the wheel, like a new tuning, or, oh, I got this secret pedal. See, on this guitar, it's right here. It's invisible. Just kidding. But anyway, you take that, the right hand, thumb 1, 2, single movements. And then what I did in my next thing, my move number 4 was just taking, okay, you've learned 1, thumb 1 and 2, now let's just play them together. So that's all 3 strings. Now I'm playing it on 10, 9, and 8. Now most of your tablature would never have you play strings 10, 9, and 8. Well, you'd play 10, 8, and 6. Oh yeah. Oh, nice chord. Okay, great. But my theory is, well, I'll play you some licks using 10, 9, and 8. Okay, 10, 9, and 8. You'd never think to do that. But my whole theory is thumb 1, 2. Okay, 10, 9, and 8. 9, 8, 7. 6, 8, 5. Etc. Across the strings. So I'd set and do this. I have set and done this. Now you guys would say, well, how long do you do it though, Joe? Oh, a couple hours. You know what my day job was? Doing this. You know what my nighttime job was? Doing this. Now that's what I call a 0-0 grip across the strings. What I mean by 0-0 grip is I'm skipping no strings between each pick. So it's 10, 9, and 8 is how many strings I'm skipping here? 0 and 0. So now I'm going to do it with a dotted eighth note. That was just dot, dot. Now I'm going dot, 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 dot. Now I'm going to make my movement when I'm going from 10, 9, and 8 here to the 9, 8, and 7. I'm going to make it like a swing. Now, how did I block it? Nothing was touching it. Picks in the back of my picks, and the side of underside of my thumb here, in the back of this pick, number 2. So if I go here, watch, don't touch nothing. I ain't had to go. Now this is legitimate, but it's the key when you're palm blocking or pick blocking or anything you're playing, the key is to keep your hands moved, especially your right hand, as small as you can. As small of a move you can. And of course, there's showbiz. You know, that looks good. But it has nothing to do with playing in the trenches. Now, I've taken my thumb 1, 2, we got the first grip. Now, for my next move, I just moved my first finger, or my second finger, I'm sorry. See it move out? So I'm on 10, 9, skipping 8, and I'm hitting 7. All right, let's just jump. We're on this E9th guitar. Oh, you guys play E9ths? We got any universals? Or just we all walk an E9th here? All E9ths? Okay, well this will be different for you. But on a 10-string guitar, where is your first C chord you can find on it, starting as low as you can go? The first C chord on the guitar. I'm making you think about your guitar now. Where's the first C chord located? What strings? C. You have to have a C, and an E, and a G. As low as you can. What did you say? First fret. C major. Okay. Is this, how many are looking at Greek? Just tell me if you think it's Greek. Come on, don't. You know what you're looking at. Okay. That 5. See that 5 right there in that box? 5, that's fret 1, string 1. That box represents the intersection of the first fret and the first string, where they cross. On a pedal steel guitar, we place our bar where? Exactly over the fret. All right? And I mean squared, centered over the fret, not a little bit this way or a little bit that way. Let's go down here to the 10th string, first fret. What's that note? We're in the key of C, 1. That's your first C note on your guitar. Is that your first 10th string, first fret? Everybody with me? Now if we took that 4 note, we need a 3, don't we? We need a 1, 3, and a 5 lined up. We'll go up to the 12th fret. The 12th fret is the same as what? 24 and what else? 0. We'll call it 0. Open. So I got a 4 here, and I know that back here, open, is a 3. Do I have any kind of device on one of these machines that'll make that, that'll go down there and get that 3 and bring it to my bar? It's called a knee lever. Let's call it today, just for sake, we'll call it the D lever. Sometimes I write it as the E lever. But over the years, when I think Jeff Newman was the first one to tab stuff out, when he wrote out his copedant, he wrote down A, B, C. He wrote his pedals down. He said, well, I'll do my D levers now. And he did D, E, F, G, and he wrote the first one, D, being the lower of the 4 and 8. So I always use both, but I let you know that if you see an E lever on mine, the E is flat in E. So we'll call it the D/E lever today, just because I like people to be as confused as possible. All right, so we get the 3 there. So right there is a 1, 3, 5 if you use flat your E. So there is your lowest C. Now where would be the lowest C minor on your E9th tuning? You need a 1, a 3 flat, and a 5. Look at the chart. You see the 1? Look at the 9th string. What's the note? It's an E flat. It's a 3 flat is its function. So you have a C minor chord at the 1st fret, playing strings 10, 9, and 7. Everybody with me? And if you look on your books, that chart right there is in your book, right on the 1st page. Should be, if I'm not mistaken. So if you can't see it up there, there it is. That chart represents your entire fret, well, I say your entire fretboard. I'm only showing you 12 frets because it just repeats. It's just the same thing over and over. 0, 12, and 24 are the same. They always will be. Everybody understand that chart I've got? That, okay, it's the same here, and only up there I added colors for you. Now what I did, you see the vertical bars? Right here? See the verticals? All right, that would be on your guitar, that'd be the fret markers. I'm just trying to get you, in other words, I've just taken a box, a rectangle, and it's representing a fret string intersection. So if I said, all right, looking at the chart, if I told you at the 8th fret and the 4th string, what's the note? I want you to go to the 8th fret and the 8th string. What's the note? So you know 1's a C. It's a C. Very good. All right, on the first string, 6th fret, what's the note? All right, on the 9th fret, 2nd string, what's the note? Oh, gee, on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Gee, I don't even have to look. 4th string, 8th fret. 5th string, 1st fret. See how your guitar is laid out? This is a C major scale pattern across 12 frets, from 1 to 12. I did all these. I got them at home, and I got the mark on my finger right here from writing them out. I did it all by ruler and colored pencils. I did all these, where I'd come and I wrote all these charts out by hand. And then they invented computers. But if nothing else that you learn today, memorize that pattern. That's where all your notes are. At least somebody says play an E flat note. Bingo. There's an E flat note on every string. Right? There's a C note on every string. Now if you look at the colors, notice the green is on 3 and 6. Why would I do that? They're the same. They're tuned the same. They're both G sharps. On 5 and 10, look, both yeller. Now the colors are just random. I didn't enter. And on, what do we got? 4 and 8 are both the E's. Now I could do that for what other string that are the same? What two? I have it marked up there are the same. 1 and 7. And they're tuned to what? F sharp. Now I can go over there to my spreadsheet. I can call up a 6-string guitar. We can study a 6-string guitar like that. But my favorite one is asking everybody, where's your lowest C chord? And everybody goes, oh, 3rd fret. And they start down, oh, 8th fret. No, 3rd fret. And I go, try again. 1st fret. And you can find a C chord open. What you'd have to do, you'd have to open to play a C chord. You have to hit a half A pedal, your F lever on the 8th string, And then on the 7th string, I got an E lever that you could raise that a half. It'd be a hard way to get there, but what you're doing is, well, you wouldn't have to do anything on the 8th string, my bad. Not even your F lever, because that'd be your 3rd. See what I'm saying, though? There's different places to get the same chord. Just like you got more than one way to get one note. All right, now I just want to quickly go over this. 1 is what? 2 would be what in the key of C? 3 in the key of C is a what? E. 4 is a what? 5, 6, 7. That's how it works. But when I play, I forget the names of the notes. I want to know how they're functioning. That's more important. So, as your first little homework, when you go home, I want you to get out some tablature you already have, a song you already can play. I want you to sit down and say, all right, how are these notes functioning when I'm playing them? Because now you're just playing them because the tab said to go to fret 4 and push this and pick these 2 strings, right? You have no idea why it sounds like it, but this is the why. Okay? Now I'm going to jump back over to we're going back to this. Right hand, thumb, 1 and 2. So we did all three adjacent strings and went. Look, Ma, no eyes. Because I've done these drills so many times, and that's another thing. When you got something you can play, like you finally get a song you can play, then I want you to start practicing that song. At first, you were just learning the song. Now I want you to practice the song over and over. Take a phrase and work that phrase till you have it, perfect. Even if it's just one song, take one song and make that song perfect. Because then all right, I learned one song perfect. Now I want to apply that to all the rest of my learning. Because what most people do is they'll get one song, sort of learn it, move on to the next one, sort of learn it, next one, sort of learn it. You know what I mean? It's like oh, here we go. But I found out one day I took one song, I analyzed it musically, like what the notes were doing. I broke it down every way I could possibly. And then I realized, well, cow, if I can do that to one song, then, geez, I can learn any song there is. Because it's a matter of breaking it down. All right, so we go I had you do this one. C major. That's B major, sorry, no bar. B minor. Right there, open. All right, so I take no grips, then I move when I showed you one out. Now I'm just going to take my next one, take my first finger, see it, and move it up to that string. So what am I doing? I'm on 10, skip 9, hit 8, and hit 7. Now I practice this. Most people would use this like at 8, 6, and 5. Oh, gee, it's a nice C chord at 8, 6, and 5. But I practice them all over every possibility of it. I just did a trick, but what I do is I use all 4 strings. I'm trying to just straight to you, but when I would play that, I would keep that first finger there and use these 3. Play the minor, just leave this one there. But I practice all them rolls, all them drills. So these are on that 32 moves. So, if you're sitting there writing notes, don't, because you can download it and it's all printed out for you, nice, and it's on a PDF so you can blow it up big or print it out. So we take that one, move it out, then you'd work on that, and this is a 0-1 grip because I'm skipping none, then I'm skipping 1. This is a 1-0 grip, grip because I'm skipping one, skipping none. So my next grip is the 1-1, where I skip one and skip one between each finger. Now that's one of our favorites. We're hitting 6, 8, and 10. Four major sevenths. You with me there on the 6, 8, and 10? Everybody hits that one. All right, now these things, when I say do these drills, when you go home to practice, spend 20, 30 minutes doing drills, and then work on some songs. And if you do the drills, you're going to find out working on them songs will become easier. Guaranteed. If it don't, you call me up and I'll send your money back. I mean, yes?
When it seemed just when you finished that you were using your third finger as a bass when you were playing 8-16.
All right, good question. My whole theory is, if you saw it as a bass, it was not a bass, it was just on the string ready to go. Because if I pick 2 and 3, watch my thumb. I don't have, just to play this string, see this is very good. I can answer your question even better. When most people play, if they want to play one note, which would take how many fingers? Don't matter which one, it takes one finger, but how many of their fingers move to play that one note? All of them. And their wrist, and their forearm. That's what I'm saying. That's what gets you into trouble. That's why people, well, I play okay, but I can't get any speed. That's why. Because if I play thumb, most people it's thumb. Their whole hand. See, I have a hard time not keeping my hands down there to do it wrong. What I call wrong. Let's just put it that way. Because I'm right. Joe Wright. So if I want to play just the thumb, and I do that, that just eliminated a bunch of licks, didn't it? Because my hand's up here. So I've trained my fingers back down. Now, just the opposite of that would be, okay, I want the notes to ring out when I play them. I don't want to block them, so I would not put them back down. So if I'm going, this is on 3, 4, 5, and 6. Blocking. Not blocking. So if I'm going, see, I didn't want any of those notes not to ring out. So that's you let them ring. But the key to that, how much you didn't see all this, did you? You didn't? My fingers are all right there doing the job. And that's the key is when you're practicing, watch your hand. And another good thing to do is if you got a video camera, I used to do this for students. I'd say, okay, watch. And I'd put the camera on him and I'd play it back and show him. Because when you're sitting right here and you're doing it, trust me, I know some of you are doing all you can to do what you just did. It's a struggle. Been there, done that. It's a struggle to play one of these. Man, what else could I figure? You could have probably been a rocket scientist and had less of a challenge. You know, I mean, it's just so overwhelming. We haven't added anything yet to our equation. When I'm talking about adding to the equation, next is what? We're going to add the left hand. But my whole philosophy of training, of teaching, is training. Because I can go out, you know, you can take your $75 and just go buy you a bunch of tablature. And I like, look at this, buy the tab. Jeff Newman's probably got, what, 500 songs tabbed out. Go out and buy one, come back in and play it for us. And that's what I'm trying to get you to think about. It's not the tablature. It's the hands. It always will be. You're never gonna escape it. I've done enough classes where they sit out there, well, you're just a jerk, Joe. No, this thing's hard, and I'm trying to tell you it's hard, and you're diving into a beast. Haven't you? You already know. I don't have to tell you guys that it's difficult. How many have you played something before you went to bed and you patting yourself on the back going, well, that sounded pretty decent. Got up the next morning and couldn't play nothing. You know what I'm saying? Happened to you too. Happened to you. Happened to me. But that's the nature of this beast. But what I've found, I've been doing my drill since I was 27 years old and I'm 52. Somebody else do the math. I ain't got time. But 25 would be the answer. But that was the key. Once I started approaching my guitar, not from my ears, but from my hands, my playing I got better and better and better, faster. Because I was just in that, that rut. You guys know what I'm talking about. That rut. You can play, I can play, let's pick a song. I can play Mansion on the Hill. Okay, I can play it in the key of D, man. I'm good. Come on over, man. Invite some friends over and play it in D. And the guy goes, can you do it in C sharp for me? How many would be totally done? You know what I'm saying? That's tabbers. They're tabbers. I'm trying to get you past being a tabber and be a musician who happens to play a pedal steel guitar. Because most steel players aren't musicians. You know what I mean? You're a tabber. Play at home. And I don't care if you want to play at home, in church, you want to play in a funk, rap, hip-hop, gospel group. I don't care. What's going to do it? Hands. All right. Back to we're at a 0-0 grip. So we've done what? Singles, just each individual one. Now, what I'm showing you on these three, I set in practice with these three. These three, I've set in practice it with these three. You got 4 groups of 3 out of these 4. You got these, and these. So if I lost my thumb, that's 1, 2, and 3. It can be done. So there's other ways to skin the cat. Okay, I went through single moves and what I call your basic, them 4 grips, where you got 3 adjacent, you spread one out, and those 3, right? You remember them? Okay, everybody clear on those 4 grips. In the 32 moves, downloadable, like I said. So we take up that, and then I said, well, golly gee, what's the next things we always do? Well, I'm going to take the singles group, and I'm going to alternate them back and forth, because we have we have a thumb that works in opposites of we're one of those animals that have that. Now, there are some humans that I swear don't have that. Neanderthals. But anyway, so I would say, okay, what's my simplest move for an alternating move? Thumb 1. Across the strings. See, you guys are practicing songs, and I'm practicing these drills. You know what? These drills play all those songs you're trying to play. Does that make sense to you? No, you don't have to change. I'm not saying you have to pick block. You can still hold your hand like that in palm block and do a thumb 1 alternate. See, you're doing this. I'll take my thumb. That pick off makes it easier. Now, see, everything you play, it's that. Okay, fine. Just make that as small as possible. That's what I'm saying. You can pick block, palm block. See, I'm not teaching. I teach both because I play both. I use both. But whichever one you use, you can't, it's got to be little bitty moves. Too much. Watch them. Did you watch them yesterday in the amateur hour? I mean, if you would have put, have you seen all the little training devices they've come out with? I seen a guy had a thing, it would clamp on here, and it was a piece of plastic that come up and kept your hand couldn't come up. I mean, they come, you know, it's like they've got picks now that are bent crooked. Somebody said they put some JB Weld on their bar right here so they could hold on to the bar. Let me tell you this right now. If this is too heavy for you to hold on to, you ought to pick up another instrument. If this is too much to handle, I mean, he went, you know, he goes, oh, it's getting hard to hold. See, what could be the cause of that? The bar? Or maybe the human being that's trying to hold the bar. So what I would tell him to do is to get up in the morning, pick up your bar, and walk around all day with it in your hand. Period. I would. I'd walk around all, never take my picks off, never take my bar out of my hand all day. How many here slept in their picks? How many here got wide awake, 3 o'clock in the morning, and went and wrote a song? You know, I mean, you know, it's just like impossible. It's like, oh, you guys couldn't have jumped off into a more complicated yet the most beautiful one there is. Instrument. I mean, it's the haunting. I mean, yeah, you just had to play one, didn't you? It was like, you had to. I know the feeling, but I was 8 when I had that feeling. I want to play one of those. I want to play one of those. If I had it all to do all over again, no. I'd never, no. Wait a minute. Yeah, I would. It's fun. There's no money in it, but it's a blast. Okay, we're going through my alternates. Thumb one. So I did it across the strings. And then I do one thumb. I would do the opposite move. Because your body, you think, well, Joe, what's he talking about? I can do that. Now the other way. Now crossed. I'll do it like for him, his. But what's doing the work? See, you're more of a bouncer, I bet. It has to do this. But what's happening with every note I play, what? My whole hand is playing the note. So if I'm going, my whole hand, watch. From the palm position. I don't need to block those notes. But you see what I'm saying? You can still learn the moves. You just hold your hand in your, but just start now, not to try and make it more of a finger move like this rather than a big move coming up. Okay, thumb one. We did one thumb. So then I do thumb two. Look at my first and second and third fingers. Look where they are. Well, don't try that one. That'll break you. Alternating 1 and 3. Oh, whoops. Getting ahead of ourselves. Thumb 1. And then I'd alternate 1 and 2. And then 2 and 1. Now they're in the thing. I just want to go through them with you If you come to my class next time, we're going to go through these moves. And it's fun to see the ones that worked on them because they're out there going, yeah, I get it. Because they'll start showing up when you start to play stuff and you're going, oh, that's cool. Because when you're playing what? I'll do a thumb 1 alternate and then I got to do a 1 thumb. Oh, but I did it in 2 positions. So watch, I did 10, 9. See my thumb go back down, watch, move up. So, but I would play that. I'd use because what you guys do with these 3, I do with all 4. I mean, they're trained to be totally independent or in sync. Okay. We alternated all the singles. We did thumb and one together, thumb and two together, one and two together, both directions, starting with each one. So now I'm going to do thumb. I'm going to take my singles with the two together. So we'll take thumb and one against one and two. Where would you use this? Thumb one and two. Because I mean, that's like. All kinds of different licks. But if you don't know the move, you won't play the lick. Yeah, I mean, it's simple as that. It's just simple as that. So I got thumb ones, alternates, when we do one and two together against the thumb. So as we do that, and then I'd do these, they're all in the book. I'm going to bypass some of them. But just for instance, I would work on thumb and two, alternating against one. A lick. Two fingers, the way they do it would be. Can't even do it. Another thing you work on is just thumb and one together. Thumb and two, one and two. Then we work, those are the groups of two. Now we alternate the ones against the twos. My most favorite thing in my playing in the 32 moves is my 6 rolls. I'm going to go on 8, 7, and 6 just for reference. 8, 7, 6. There they are. Thumb, 1, 2. That's a forward roll. All right, simple forward. I played it a bunch of different ways, different speeds, different phrasings, like in the mood. Straight, triple it. Still a forward roll. I'm just looking at the music and doing different rhythmic phrases, so to speak. My 32 moves. What I was just starting to do is my my rolls. These are in that downloadable book. So, and the key is what I want you to see is I take 2 rolls, a forward roll and a backward roll. So a forward roll, let me play it on strings 6, 5, and 4 over an E chord, just so you hear it. All right, everybody hear that? Now a backward roll would be, so it's 2, 1, thumb, or now. Those are just a simple forward and backward rolls. So I'm going to play a forward roll across the strings for you. That's it. That was a forward roll played in all the positions. Now I'll do it with a backward roll. All right, backward roll across the strings, and that's a great drill. If you don't do nothing, warming up in the morning, get up and do those forwards and backwards across. You're getting all 3 fingers. And now I'm going to do it like most people would do it with no blocking at all. I don't have to teach this to people. They can do this. Now blocking.
How much of your pick blocking seems like things like that are you attack the note and then with that same finger that you attacked it,
Yeah.
you stop it? Is there a lot of pick blocking where you'll attack a note and then block it with another pick?
Yes, very good. Now, here's the key. I'm going to talk you through it as you watch, but listen to my verbal commands. The way I would teach you to do this, if we were just setting your guitar, you're sitting there and I'm sitting here, I'd say, okay, put your thumb on 10, 9, and 8, set there, ready to play. All right, that'd be the first command. And I'd say, pick with your thumb. Set it down. You're pick blocking. I can show anybody in this room to do that. I mean, they can do that. Most of it's, I'm exaggerating, but I'm doing this. So, set it down. Thumb pick, set it down. 1 picks, set it down. 2 picks, set it down. Okay, now that's in a fixed position. No, I didn't have to change any right hand position. I was on the same 3 strings. But now I'm going to show you how you take it across the strings. And this is really pertains to what you were talking about is, well, listen to the commands now. Thumb picks, set it down. 1 picks, set it down. 2 picks, move to the next position and set it down. I didn't pick block 2 until my hands went to the next position. So that's what's taking place when I'm going. It's thumb picks. Did you follow that? You see what I did?
I did, fascinating.
I mean, because that's what everybody, well, I pick block, but when I try to move, everything just keeps, well, that's what it is. You don't pick block when you're going on a move. Now, let's talk about going the other way, because it's like, or if I'm doing a backward roll, thumb 1, 2. Are you with me over there? Okay, I'm sorry, backward roll is 2, 1, thumb. Hello, testing. How come nobody corrected me? What's going on here? Thumb, or 2, 1, thumb. So I pick 2, pick 1. Now I pick thumb, but I want to move to the next place. Now that 10th string's ringing. But watch, when I go up to the next position, watch me sit down. Right there. The back of my thumb took that out. So show you again. And it's so subtle. But what I want you to do when you practice this stuff, even if it's your palm blocking, when you practice super slow motion. In fact, I want you to sit there and go, thumb picks, set it down. 1 picks, set it down. Because what you're going to end up doing is going. Okay, I got it. No, you don't got it. Because I want you to be able to go, I'm going to do the backwards. Thumb. The other thumb. 2, 1, thumb. Move. Sit down, ready to play. Now, when I'm going, that's all taking place underneath. It's just happening so fast, you don't see it. But guess how Joe developed it? You got it. Pick it. Set it down. 1, set it down. 2, set it down. Now, the first day, you're going to do that at that speed. Now, come back to your next day of practice. You might be able to go thumb, 1, thumb, set it down, 1, set it down. And then pretty soon, give yourself 6 months, and you will be, if you keep working on it, you'll go. Because that's the trouble with people in pick blocking. It's like if I said, okay, put your thumb in 1 and 2 on 8, 7, and 6 and never move, well, that's easy. You assign a finger to a string and it goes up. If you don't want it, it goes down. But there's sometimes you want to pick block 1 string, let 1 string ring, and then move, and keep that 1 ring. But you're in charge of all of that. All of it. It's up to you. Your fingers. And now, sometimes you're going the other way. Another thing I'll do is the thumb on the left hand. This thumb right here will be the block. There, we see my thumb right there? Center it right in the old. There you go. Yeah, it's hard to. All right, now if I'm doing my thumb, so if I'm down here and I'm going, see that thumb coming along and cleaning up the action. Same way on this finger. You stay, Skip. I'll do I'll move this finger. My middle finger, see how it's sticking past my bar? If you look at it, it's sticking past the bar. So what I'll do, first string, I don't block my first string with my right hand. Thumb blocks going this way, this middle finger blocks going the other way. Because if I'm playing, let's say, I went, that middle finger took care of the first string. All right, that's what I'm talking about. My 32 moves that you guys are going to download, we're talking about forward roll and a backward roll. Now what I've done, what I found out is you learn to start the forward roll on the first finger. Watch. 1, 2, thumb. So it's 1, 2, thumb. 1, 2, thumb. Thank you. 1, 2, thumb. 1, 2, thumb. 1, 2, thumb. Let's go over to the dry erase. So a lot of this is on all my DVDs. I can't get away from it because it's the most important part of all this. Because like I said, I can walk you out there and I can take you name me a song. I probably find it all tabbed out. Somebody's version that they've played. But they've played it with hands that have been playing for how long? See what I'm saying? Thumb, 1, 2. Okay, there's a nice forward roll. That's on any 3 strings. We're not talking, and it could be the way my right hand works. When I say a forward roll, let's say this is strings 10, 9, and 8. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, this could be string 10, this could be string 4, and this could be string 1. I don't care. It's still a forward roll, whether my hand is open or whether my hand is closed. You'll hear me play licks where I'm playing a thumb 1, 2 forward roll on 1 string. Da-da-da-da-da. Like if I want to play a Spanish things, like how the guitar players do like this and they get that real fast thing. Well, I do it with 3 picks on 1 string. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, take forward roll. And what I've done is said, okay, there's your forward roll. Now we're going to start the forward roll on the first finger. 1, 2, thumb. Everybody with me? All right, all you guitar people. If you don't have a guitar, I want your hand up on the table. I want to see it. I want you on strings 10, 9, and 8. Ready to play. Good. Good. All right, now I want you to just pick with your thumb and set it back down. Cheryl, the only thing I would tell you is, to me, it's you're holding it out there on purpose. Just let it relax and hold it. Not fall down, just relax. There, right there.
Okay.
You still have your position, but you're cocking that elbow out there like.
Okay.
In other words, just because Joe Wright holds his hands a certain way, I'm 6'2". See how long my fingers are? I got you by a mile. So you're gonna have to play with Sharon's body. It might be, we might be talking just a little hair with your elbow, a little bit here, a little bit there. You look relaxed. But to me, it's like everybody has to, it's a little subtle difference. His hands, her hands are going to be different. Just, and it might be just a little bit where you hold your elbow, where you hold your hand. But Mr. White's here, there, yours looks good. Your level, your way your guitar fits your body, it looks like it's made for you. Yours is all right too, only you're playing in a chair. You usually sit in just a chair, or do you have a pack of seat?
Now, I actually have a neck problem, so I have to sit in a certain folding chair at home.
Okay. Well, with the neck problem, what I want you to do, as far as for your hips and knees and working them pedals, is from your hip. It's on the other DVD. Hip to your knees. I want it downhill just a little bit, because if you look at downhill from here to here, I don't want, especially on your left leg, especially on your left leg. Yeah, that seat's not big enough for you to play that guitar, but it's like you say, it's a thing. Oh, beautiful. All right, because, and I'll show you why. The simple argument for that is if I take my knee past there, well, I can't hardly, but if my leg's out like that, I can, that's all I'm saying. It frees your ankle. But if your knee is past your ankle like that, Anybody here try and bend your ankle with your knee past your ankle, and you can't do it. That's all. It's just a matter of finding your place to sit. If you buy a used guitar, you need to have it designed to fit you. In other words, you've seen people like, if somebody's to come and buy my steel guitar, I'm 6'2", and they're like 5'7". They're going to have to do a little, to make it, you bought mine, you'd be sitting there going, he'd be playing, looking over the top of it like this. Because these things are, look, they're hard enough to play, to have one that, I call it, when it starts playing you. You know what I'm saying? You've had time, have you had a pedal that you wouldn't use because you're like, You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I don't know about, that guitar's playing you now. You're not playing the guitar. You should know every pedal, everything. Okay. Everybody understand the forward roll starting on the first finger? What would be the next logical step? A forward roll, and we're going to start it on the second finger. Very good. That's all. So there are 3 moves that I trained into my hands separately. Just because I could do this one, the thumb 1, 2 right here, just because I could do that doesn't, didn't mean I had it. It didn't mean, okay. Because once you start it on a different digit, it becomes a whole new move. This one here. Now I want you right here. Let me see, who am I going to pick on? I want you to put it on any 3 strings, adjacent strings. This is all in the PDF you're going to download too. Now I want you to play a forward roll. Thumb 1, 2. Ooh, do that again. Now watch look down at your hand and watch. All right, when 2 happened, what happened with 1? All right, there's a classic thing. I said play thumb 1, 2. And he played thumb, 1, and when he hit 2, 1 come up with it. I mean, 90% of the players in this thing here, they might as well take their first or second finger and just duct tape them together. Where I'm all about separating them, and I've added the other 4th one. People, why don't you use the little finger? Because it's too short and I can't find a pick that small. But now, look here, I could tell you to play these 3 rolls, one after another. So I could say, da, 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 da. There's a lick, somewhere, somehow, some way. And then I could say, okay, I want you to play it across the string. So I could tell you, thumb, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, thumb, and then 2, thumb, 1. And each one of these is on different strings. See, I mean, the potential is endless. So, that's the forwards. Now what I'm going to do is that same thing to the backwards. And then I got one more set of rolls, and then we're going to go back to the scales. Backward roll. I don't care how you block it. Pick block, palm block, whatever you want. That's still going to be a backward roll. What I want you to do, eliminate, come up only enough to get your hand, to pick the string. That's all. And if you can eliminate, even though you're palm blocking, you can eliminate the total bounce. Because the palm blockers, if you're bouncing every note, in other words, you're playing just the thumb and it takes your whole hand to play one note. No. That'll play one note. That right there, that move, boom. Most people, it's boom. I'm not saying you have to become a pick blocker. I just want you to get into your brain that next time you start practicing, do a little, do you ever practice technique, or is it all songs? How many here practice nothing but a new song? You know what I mean? You don't, yeah. Okay, you can't make learning this any harder. You can't make it any harder. All right. There's the 3 backwards. Just learn to start it off each finger. 2, 1, thumb, 1, thumb, 2, and thumb, 2, 1. Now I can write all 6 of them rolls to 3 backwards, 3/4. What am I talking about? Any 3 strings, I don't care. I'm just writing this as a thing. Now I'm going to go to my guitar and play all those in a row. Strings 6, 7, 8. I was right in a row, all 6. All right, so I'll do them again. Forward 1. Next one, 1, 2, thumb, 2, thumb, 1. Now the backwards, 2, 1, thumb, 1, thumb, 2, and then thumb, 2, 1. Now I'm going to do it each one, but I'll move my bar up a fret each time just to show you. First one. Oh, I'm playing jazz. Gee, and all I did was do that drill and just move it up a fret. Now, I'm going to move it up a fret and change my right hand. So I'll start on 10, 9, and 8. So each time my bar goes up, my right hand's going to go to a new right hand position. Those 6 rolls, one after another. My bad. Potential, right? And I'm making up moves just by, well, I'll do this and I'll do this. Nothing says I couldn't do this one, jump up 2, do that. But controlling your hands is the whole key. These are what I called forward, backwards, more of the banjo type rolls. Now I'm just talking the right hand. I haven't added slides or any pedals to all the right hand moves. And that's how I do it. I take the right hand and you work on the right hand. Okay, we got the right hand, now we're going to work on the left hand. And now we got the left hand doing stuff, and now we're going to put the right and left hand together. That's my first 3 videos I ever did. You know how many songs I taught on that? All of them. First roll, 1, 2, 1, thumb. Forward, backward roll. That's what I call that. 4 notes. Do, 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 do. Thumb 1, 2, 1. Money and do, 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 do. Banjo. Do, 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 do. Okay? And then the opposite of that would be 2, 1, thumb 1. All right? The opposite of that. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, thumb, and 1, thumb, 1, 2. Those are the 4 rolls. I call these the advanced rolls. These are just, but I mean, I use them in licks. But the key to it is putting them in your hands first. So I've been through basically my 32 moves. I might have left some out. They're on that PDF you can download. And I have them wrote out where the drills are across the strings. Every one of these moves, that one, you learn it fixed without moving, and then you learn it across the strings, going from position 1, next one, okay? All right, back to your sheets. Let's look at our sheets. It says below on the very first page, I want you to focus on this scale chart. Now the numbers, just make sure everybody understands what that says. It says C equals 1, D equals 2, E equals 3, F equals 4. So, on that chart, when we look at it, if I told you string 6, fret 1, what would the note be? All right, let's try this again. String 6, fret 1. It's a 6 of the key of C, which is an A. So now, if nothing else, you know where all your notes are. If you just set if you say I'm in the key of E flat, well, you can find E flats by knowing that a E flat is a 3 flat in, because if you know where an E is, E flat's the one box to the left. So if I told you I want you to find me an F sharp on the 3rd string, what would that be? So you find the F, and go up one, wouldn't you? See what I mean? You know where your notes are now. So it's a good thing just to learn your notes. Okay, but these things that we play, these little beasts called the pedal steel guitar, it's a machine. Let's get real. Turn it over and look at it. You're playing a machine. I mean, you got a lot of guys here that they buy these things just so they can turn them over and tear them apart and build them back together. Right? I mean, they can't play a lick, but I just put a new lever on. Well, what for? I don't know, but it's on there. I got it all. It works. Well, what does it do? Well, I don't know. I know if I go, hit that, it'll make that one note for me. I've had guys call me up and say, well, I got this guitar, brand new guitar, and I was playing this little lick, and I want this one note to move when I'm playing that lick. Okay. He says, I want to buy a knee lever to put on it to do that. I said, okay, well, what kind of guitar? You know, he's got a guitar like it, just fully loaded. I says, well, you know what them other pedals do? Oh, no, I don't know what them do. I just know what the first 2 pedals do in that one knee lever, but I want to put this knee lever on. I mean, that meant, you know, it's like, so this guy is not buying a musical instrument. He's buying a tinker toy. Something to tear apart and put back. You know the types that, like, they reinvent the wheel. But, you know one of those? The key to this, if I look at this, the first string across, there's a C scale pattern across that string in there. The 1 is in box under 6. On a S1 across. Go to box under the 6, and there's a 1. So that's a C. So on every string, if you understand how one string works with a scale, you understand how all strings work with a scale. But this, with a guitar, is just we have a bunch of different strings tuned differently. So each one has a C scale. Now if I wanted to go and I call up my chart, we can go to the key of E flat. And it'll put 1 as E flat and rearrange it. Let me do that for you, just to show you what I'm talking about. Because now that chart right there is 1 key, major key, over 1 octave, 12 frets. And I tell my computer, well, golly gee, what about Joe? That's cool, but what about D? Well, watch this, watch. What happened? Now it's the key of D. Oh, like I said, I pushed the wrong button. I don't have my glasses on. My apologies. All right, well, that's C sharp, but what happened? Notice how everything jumped up once? Let me go back to the key of C. Watch them all, just watch every box go to the left one. So I go to key of D, like I said the first time. It'll jump that 1. Look at the 10th string, see the 1, now it's going to go under box 3. No, that's D. So all these notes would be in the key of D. But we don't need to know the name of the notes if we know that the 1's the 1, the 2's the 2, they function. Now if I go to, let's just drive them absolutely crazy and pick number 44. Now we're in the key of D. We got to see the D major. The major is what? A type of scale. Now watch. Ho! There's a diminished whole tone scale. See how everything goes crazy on you? Now if you're playing A Way to Survive, my tip is don't use that scale. But you see what I mean? Because I can go this thing, it's 54 scales, go to 4, boom, there's a Lydian scale in D. What do we have? A 4 sharp. I'll go to the key of, back to C. Let's go to the major. And the major. Now we're back to C major. Now why I like C major is a good key because on a piano, what? It's all the white keys. There's no sharps and flats on the music. But now, another thing I tell you to do is, in the second page is, learn everything you can in the key of C. When I mean learn all the music theory you can, like what's a C? When I say second page, I mean second half of the first page. My bad. The pattern to the left. Now I'm talking about this. This is all the filled-in notes on this scale are the white keys on a piano. All the blank boxes would be the black keys on a piano. But a piano, where is middle C located on a piano? How many middle C's do they have on a piano? Uno, right. On that chart right there, middle C's on a piano, uno. On that E9, on her E9 guitar right there, see that one, string 5, fret 1, that one? That's middle C. Same note as a piano. Guess what? That one, that's middle C. Guess what? That one, that's middle C. Middle C, middle C, and at the 13th fret, which would be this one here, is middle C again. So when it comes to reading music on a steel and you see middle C, you go, which one, right? But that's why this thing is, more complicated. If you go one fret on your guitar, that's called a half step. Everybody know what I'm talking about? 2 frets is a whole step. So if I said going from the note C to the note D, what is that called? Whole step. Right. Okay. Good. So the intervals in the key of C, I just want you, they're all wrote there. We can read them. From a C to a D, second interval. Right? Is how many half steps? 2. It's all wrote. C to an E is what? It's a third interval. No. Yep. It's 2 whole steps, but it's 4 half steps, but it's a third. C to an F is a fourth. Isn't it funny how that works? The 1 to the 2 is the second, from a 1 to the 3 is a third, 1 to the 4. And what am I talking about? The distance between them 2 notes. So if I said from a C sharp to an F sharp is a what interval? No, a C sharp. You didn't hear the C. C sharp to F sharp is still just a fourth. Yeah, right, all right. Yeah, you didn't hear the sharp. All right, I've got them all wrote out there for you to study. Remember, learn it, as I say, learn it in C. Because if you went to D, D to an F sharp's a major third. But you just know it in C and then learn to transpose it. You only got to learn it once and just remember it repeats 11 more times. C to a B note is a 7th interval and it's 11 half steps. All right, and here's where I say the next line, the key of C is directly related to the piano because white keys are the filled in squares and the black keys are the empty ones. Now we're going to get it from a C note to a C sharp note is what is called a minor second interval. All right? But these are all just, you can study them on your own on that. Let's turn the page. And that'd be a good Bob Seger song. We ought to write it. Huh? Again. Okay. What we have now is the next chart, big old chart there, you see it? But look below, it says PEDs. It says P1, P2. You with me? Let me go up to this one, I'm going to do it. Now what that is, the A and B pedals are pressed down. Now watch. Everybody look up top. I'm going to make the spreadsheet push down the A pedal. See the pattern changed and the letter A comes up for us. Now I'm going to tell the spreadsheet to press, bless you, to press the B pedal. Now it's matching your chart on your paper. A, B, down. When I look at these as all as new tunings. I mean, when you first started playing steel guitars, they had 6 strings. They wanted a new tuning. They, you know what they did? They started twisting knobs. Well, we don't have to twist knobs to get a new tuning. We can push a pedal. But I'm talking about our 3 main guitars are open, A, B down. This is our second one. And that's how it rearranges. Now, if you're in the key of C and you got your A, B pedal down, where would be your most likely place to find your C chords? Third fret. All right, what's the formula for a major chord? You got to have the first interval, the what interval? Third and the fifth. Well, look at the 3rd fret. Did it line them all up for us? Or is there a bunch of 1, 3, 5s there in there? Okay, you with me? But that's a new tuning. Think of it as a new tuning. Push just the B pedal up, new tuning. Nothing says we have to, hey, you take this A pedal off the guitar, off all the guitars in this room, and we're all going home tomorrow. Without the A pedal, this show would just shut down right now. Now I want you to look, everybody to focus down here on this picture of the pedal steel. Let's see if I got a picture. I do somewhere. I'll just use this. Look at that. Now how many know their fretboard? I mean, no, like if I told you go to 17, you put your bar there. You don't have to count. Okay. No, I'm just talking. No, I don't care about now. I'm just talking about the lines. We don't have any frets. Just so you know, we have lines, but we call it a fretboard. So we have fret lines, right? We don't have any frets. We got lines. Frets are them things that stick up that are metal, and you bend the string around to get the tone. We have fret lines. Now, I want everybody to learn how to study a fretboard. I think I got this. All right, jump ahead a couple pages. You'll see that page right there on the right-hand side. It'll say fretboard. This is what you're looking for. Yeah, you got it. There's a picture of the steel. All right, everybody look at that picture of you see the overhead shot of the pedal steel. There's a bar sitting there. You can see, no, that's a tuning wrench. George L. tuning wrench on the left there. All right, it says, you see me that has a blue line pointed at fret 10. Everybody with me? What does fret 1, 10, 13, 22, and 25 have in common on your fretboard? There is no marker on either side of those, is there? Look at the markings on all fretboards. You don't even need to look at my picture. If you got your guitar, look at your guitar. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12 are markers. So in other words, between 2 and 3, right? Between 4 and 5. So at any marker, if you want your odd ones, you want 2, 4, 6, 8. They're the left of a marker. See the characteristics? And what's the only odd number to the right or behind a marker? 11. Because it's between 12. See where 12 is? See what I'm saying? Here's 12. There's an odd one, and it's behind the marker. Well, all these are evens behind the marker. 2, 4, 6, 8. Are you seeing that? I mean, it makes it easier to read your frets. 2, 4, 6, 8. Because I can come up behind and see it from behind. But if you look at this, it's got its own brilliance in itself. Because you look at fret 10. I mean, you can always find fret 10. There's no marker on either side. Look at it. Fret 1, no marker at either side. Fret 13, no marker. 12's the only even one. past the marker, 12 and 24. All the other even numbers, except for 10, are behind the marker. So 2 and 14 behind the marker. 4 and 16 behind the marker. All right, you see that? So start, it'll help you learn. Because why I want you to do this, I had a student, this is how this came about, and he's like, I'm showing him something, I said, fret 10. Well, once he got done counting, I mean, you know, once he got done, no. Learn to read it. Not fold your arms and look there and study it. So you can say 7. Your eyes go to 7. There is no, I don't want no hesitation. Because hesitation means that's going to be hesitant in your playing. And that little, you've played enough, you guys, if you've been playing at all, you know enough that here's where we've all been. It can be many hesitations. Which knee lever? Which pedal? Which knee lever and pedal? What fret? At the same time, you're trying to figure out which knee lever, which one's that? Know your guitars. Know your setups. Know every pedal. You know, if you don't know what the C6 pedals, don't put them on. If you don't, you know what their function is. Know what they do. And there's all kinds of tabs to learn licks for each pedal. But know your fretboard in that manner. So if I said fret 17, well, 17, I know it's going to be past a marker. Okay, now on the right side we see another scale pattern chart. But below we see what? Pedal 1 and knee 2. So knee 2 raises your E's to F's. Pedal 1 is your A pedal. Now, let's go to the 11th fret. And do we see any 1, 3, 5s lined up real nice like? So, we know that if we go to the first chart on the very first page, we look for our 1, 3, 5 lines up with no pedals in the key. You see we're at what fret? 8. So if we go A, B down, what fret? Where's our nice lined up pedals for us? 3rd fret. So if we go to the A, F, where's that at? 11, right? So C, the big places for C, don't get me wrong, C is from 0 to 26, but our chord triads really on 3 strings, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Remember that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. That's where 90% of your playing is going to be on these E9 guitars. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Because what you have on them strings is 2 octaves of a E triad, open. So now we have our C's. And now what I want to talk about, the next thing where I says the beginner setup. What I'm talking about is if you have, when you got your guitar and somebody told you it was the A pedal, did that make much sense to you for any reason? It didn't, right? It was just the A pedal, as in the alphabet A, you know, and you're thinking, A, do I get an A chord? Or do I get A minor when I push that? What's the B pedal? Oh, B pedal, that's where I get my B chord. Okay, I get it. No. That was just, they wrote them out, above the top to tab, they wrote A, B, C. That's all of that was. And I just want everybody here to think now through the function of that pedal. What we call the A pedal, I tell a beginner, it's the 5-10 pedal. Works 5-10. Look at our colors, 5-10, both yellow. Then we have the next pedal is what? I could say, oh, it's the green pedal. It's the 3-6 pedal. We'll call it the green pedal today. I have a pedal on there we call the C pedal because it was the 3rd one, and it works strings 4 and 5. So I call that the 4-5 pedal. And that's what I'm talking about here. Is I want you to think less about the A pedal and that it's 5 and 10. It's the 5-10 pedal. It works 5 and 10. It will not do anything else unless I get up under the guitar with a wrench and start undoing things. 4-8 negative, I call it, is just lowering your E's. It was first wrote out as the D pedal. And then it was wrote out as, I usually write it, if I'm writing my tab, the E pedal because it works the E's. The D was just because it was A, B, C. The next first knee lever, they wrote it down, then he put a D above it because it was A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I'll tell you, I'll use it both ways, but I'll say, okay, this time the D pedal is 4/8 negative. If I said 4/8 positive, it's the F lever. 4/8 positive, in other words, it raises the notes. And on each guitar here, it probably is on a different knee lever. I don't care. Don't care where it's physically placed on your guitar. I want you to know the function. Function. What does it do when I hit this knee lever? Because I played for years not knowing. I just hit. I just did it. You should know your setup on your guitar. Period. All your pedals, what they do. If it raises to a whole, know that. All right? Now, major chord triads. The next thing it says there, major chord triads. But real quick, like, is if you look at it says 8 grips to know. Now, thinking our strings, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10, those 8 grips should be automatic to your right hand because all 8 of those will bring you an E, a G, an E, a B, and a G sharp. An E, G sharp, B in some way. It'll bring you a major chord. In other words, look at the first one. It shows 3, 4, and 5 with 2, 1 thumb, right? We've all played that, right? But look at the one that says third from the right. No, I mean second from the right. It's 3, 4, and what we did is our 5th string, we took the thumb and moved it down to the 10th string. It's still what? G sharp, E, and a B, isn't it? I studied the E ninth tuning by looking at strings 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Those 3 strings, or those 3 strings, those 6 strings, if we used to take out 1, 2, 7, and 9, we would have a simple B, E, G sharp, B, E, G sharp, and 2 octaves. Same thing as a dobro, only it's in the key of E. Now, when I talk about those 6 strings, and that's what I want to isolate our thinking on, because those are where all our major triads are. Our 1, 3, 5s like a C chord. Open what chords do we have? We have E, right? We hit the A, B down, what do we have? And we hit A, F, what do we have? Say it. C sharp. Very good. All right, and that's all at open. And these are on what strings? 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Now I call these our 3 main guitars because it delivers on 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 a major chord. But now, if we go to the 8 grips to know, first one is strings 3, 4, and 5. In other words, your right hand should automatically be able to go and pick the chord on strings 3, 4, and 5 without having to set them down. And what I mean by that is what a lot of people do is you go to make the chord and you'll set your thumb down, set your first finger down, and set your second finger down. No, they ought to go down together, boom, right now. That's why I had you do remember the drill, all 3 strings, each grip across the strings and back. To where putting your hands on any strings becomes automatic. You don't have to look, you don't have to think. That's what practice time is for looking and thinking. When I did the drills, I didn't look I just had my eyes closed. Then the next one is strings 4, 5, and 6, pretty self-explanatory. And then it's 5, 6, and 8, and 6, 8, 10. Now the first 4 of the 8 grips to know, we use them all the time. Those are our chord triads across the string. How many can do your 6, 8, 10? How many know what I'm talking about when I talk about your triads? Every time I do a seminar, I tell people, okay, how many here can play those one to the other and up and back? 100 times. How many have done that? 100 times. Just sit there and done that over and over. Best practice you can do. A lot of licks you're going to play are going to be being able to jump While the bar's going here, this right hand has to move from grip to grip. But the first four are all your triads going across the strings. Simple as that. Now, when we look at the first four grips, all the chord notes are right next to each other. So I want you to look at the very first one. It says 2, 1, thumb on 3, 4, and 5, okay? Then I want you to go over to strings, the 1, 2, 3, the fifth one where it says 2, skip 1, 1, skip 1, skip 2 to the thumb. You with me? Okay? Now just imagine the note on the fourth string there. Basically what we did was take that note and move it to the thumb. For instance, if we were in the key of C at the 8th fret, that would be a C note, but we just took our thumb and played the C note below it. So we've reharmonized the chord. But that grip, I call it a 21 grip in the 8th position. Ooh, what does that mean? 21 grip. Thumb's on 8, that's the position. 21 means skip 2 strings, all right? So you're on 8, so you skip 7, 6, hit 5. And the second one, 21, the one is skip 1, so you jump up to 3. But all them notes under them, what 3 notes are you going to have? E, G, and a B sharp, and an E, B, and a G sharp. I can say it. Now the next one is on 4, 6, and 10. E, G, and a B sharp. And the next one is on 3, 4, and 10. That's quite the open grip there, isn't it? But the notes are what? And the last one is 3, 8, and 10. First, let's look at them theoretically. Just so, let's talk the key of C. I wrote the grips there generically. It got nothing to do with key or anything. I just want you, I wrote it physically rather than musically, okay? So we'll come over here. I got A, B down. It don't matter because A, B is one of our 3 guitars, I call it, our 3 main guitars. No pedals, A, B, and A, F. So we'll study it. Let's go to the 3rd fret. So our first grip would be 3, 4, and 5. What do we got? We got a 1, a 5, and a 3. Now we're talking in the key of C, so that'd be a C, E, G. Right? What's our next grip? 4, 5, and 6. There's 1, 3, and 5. And then it's 5, 6, and 8. Look, 3, 5, 3, 1, and a 5. When you stack the chords in different orders, what's that called? Say it louder. Inversions. In other words, we're just inverting. We're taking the bottom note, moving it to the top. All right, and our last one is 6, 8, and 10. Look, 6, 1, a 5, and a 3. Now the third is in the bass. You have an E note on your thumb. Now I want to go to the next grip, which starts on 3, 5, and 8. So we go up here, 3, 5, and 8. Look at that, 1, 3, 5. Still our triads, our major triad. Our next one is 4, 4, 6, and 10. Look, 5, 1, 3. Our next one is 3, 4, and 10. 1, 5, 3. Our next one is 3, 8, and 10. 1, 5, and 3. Now I'm going to go over the guitar. I'm going to put my bar at the 3rd fret. I'm going to push A, B down so I'm matching that chart. All right, and I'll play all 8 of those grips. So we can hear. Now we can relate this to our ear. All right, first one, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 8. 6, 8, 10. Our next one, 3, 5, 8. Our next one, 4, 6, 10. Our next one, 3, 4, 10. Our next one, 3, 8, and 10. Now then we're all 4 of them, but all 8 of them, I'm sorry, and every one of them was either a C, an E, and a G. Had all 3 notes. But what did we do? We take the 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take that and move it to the bass. So instead of, I got now I'll play a little scale using 3, 4, and 10. Now what's weird about that is getting used to playing that wide grip. Because everybody, what's going to happen to you is all of a sudden you're going to be going, "Ugh." It's not natural. So we work on it to make it natural. So I want you to know all those 4 grips, all them 8 grips. Now, I want to talk about each of those 8 grips. Because they're just, right now we're just using it on 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. So I'm going to go over here. So if I took this grip, I'm going to write 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's all we're working on. Well, we can do 2, 1. Why not? Let's have fun. Now, if I take it, what we had, our first one was what? It was 2, 2, 1, thumb. Right? That was our grip. Now our next one was this. It was the same grip, only down in a different position. But every grip can be played in all the positions. In other words, I can just keep writing this grip. This is one of our first drills. We played it, etc., all the way down. Now, that's pretty much, we do this kind of stuff all the time. But let's take this grip. Thumb, 1, 2. In other words, 6, 8, and 10. Now I can take that grip. Now we learn it for here, it's just to play the major triad. But what about this? I can go thumb, 1, 2. Same grip, new position. See what I'm saying about every grip? So if I take we got one here, it's like 2 on 4, and then I did one on 10. Well, there's that grip. That's supposed to be that other thumb, that thumb. All right, so I got 2, 1, and thumb. Boy, awkward grip, right? But there's no reason I can't play that 2, 1, thumb. Now, it's not giving me my triads, but there's potential for something there. I mean, everybody looks at the key of C. You look for licks at the 3rd fret, the 8th fret, and the 11th fret, and that's pretty much all you do. Where it's all over the place. Move your grips around, experiment. Take this grips, our 1, 1 grip in the 10th position, or 6, 8, and 10. Then play 9, 7, and 6. You can play 8, 6, and 4. In other words, you skip in every other string. So you can take these. Everybody understand how your grips work all the way across, and even the wide ones. Because to me, now if I had this grip, 2, 1, and thumb, I'm on 3, 4, and 10, I said play a forward roll. It's just a forward roll with a wide grip, still thumb, 1, 2. I want you all to go home too. Pull out one piece of tablature, your favorite song you like to play, and start looking at it through your right hand. You know what I mean? Well, there's Joe, that's a try. Oh, I play all 3 together there. Oh, I can do that thumb 1 alternate right there to play that. Oh, there's a thumb, pick, and a pedal. Okay. Because that's how I've done. Okay, I've spent the first 2 hours, we talked about right hand and some triads. But notice how I relate the triads on the guitar. We have to relate them to our body. Because our body plays this thing. How many here are looking for the magic bullet, the magic pill, the magic course? Come on, be honest. How many are looking for it? Man, you might as well just start planning a trip to Mars, because it might be there. Yeah, I mean, you have more luck getting to Mars than trying to find the magic pill to learn to play any music instrument. It does not exist. There are no natural players. It's all learned. Even the savants that sit down and start playing, they start off with little things. Because even though they're like, you know, you've seen them, or they're like, somebody will play something and he'll walk right up. I've seen it. It was amazing. He'll walk right up and play. He couldn't always, you know, why? Because he had to build the dexterity in his body to where all of a sudden that stuff would come out. Same way with all of them. If you train your hands to make the moves, you're going to set up tablature and actually play it rather than fumble through it. Because I've already done all the fumbling for you. Now, I guarantee if you just start doing the drills, if you don't do nothing else from this class, you just start doing drills every day, still work on your other, do what you're practicing now, whatever you're practicing now, keep it up, keep banging your head against the wall and stepping back and walking right back into it. But do your drills, and you're going to be doing a lot less of walking into the wall. Because number one, you're going to make a mistake and you go, oh, I should have done a thumb, I should alternate it. You know, you're going to understand the licks. In other words, I'm breaking down pedal steel guitar licks into their smallest little bitty parts. Forward roll. Let's talk to forward roll. No strings. Don't care. Don't care what strings. Forward roll. Ride it out. There we play 3 notes with the thumb and first finger. Now what I will teach is, okay, we got a thumb, 1, 2. Well, I'm going to add a movement to our forward roll. In other words, I want you to see things adding together. Just like if I said, all right, our simplest move is just to pick with the thumb. There it is. Well, what can we do to make it even thing? We'll just put a slide. So we slide 1 to 2. Any string, don't care. So now we've added 1 right hand move and 1 left hand move, haven't we? Simple. But that is where it all begins. Because if I take a bunch of thumb 1 slides and some forward rolls and slides and pedal bends and stuff, pretty soon I'm playing. But if I took that really fancy, the fanciest lick that they play out there tonight, and we analyzed it and I started breaking it down, there is not a person in here that would not understand that lick. Once I break it down. But it's just like if I go, all right, hey, let me think here. Now play it. You know what I'm saying? It's like da, 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 da. I got that much and you're still trying to learn it, you know what I mean? But if little bitty parts, you know, this thing is not as overwhelming as you think if you start taking the little bitty parts and putting them together. But what y'all have done is you're starting with right hand technique, left hand technique, and volume pedals, and going, and now play a song. How hard can you make it? And number one, you start off, everyone here probably started off by trying to play a song. Next to impossible. Think about how hard you worked and how frustration level was right up there at the top. Been there, done that. Of course, when I was a little kid, the guitar was too heavy for me to throw out the window, so that's why I'm still playing. But see how I take, my whole theory of teaching is learn the little things. You can, you know, and what I found out is by doing the drills is it eliminates the frustration level will start going down. Because you'll see, oh wait, I can do this. You know, it's just a simple move, but oh cool. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me try something. Oh man, I'm adding things, but first you got to get your fingers to pick the strings. It don't make no sense to slide the bar up and down if you're not picking the right strings. You guys couldn't have picked anything more difficult to learn. On our 8 grips to know it, on the very bottom, the grips for each of the 8 are as follows. This is my terminology that I thought up. Because I don't want you to think of music, I want you to think of movement. If you make the right moves, guess what? The music y'all want to play is going to be there, it's going to be delivered. It can only be delivered by your hands on your guitar. Can't use his hands, you can't use my hands. And another thing, you cannot buy a set of hands. You can buy guitars, chords, volume pedals, picks, amplifiers. What else do we got? Name it. We can buy it all. Earned. Period. There is no other way to earn these hands. You have to earn them. And the only way to do that is in the seat. Period. All right, the grips. First grip we see is a 0-0 grip in the 5th position. So we look at our 8 grips to know. You understand when I say 0-0 grip in the 8th position. Understand that terminology. Because I'm trying to get you to think through your body, not through the notes. I'm talking about that right there. All right, your thumb, whatever string your thumb is on, is your position. All right, so it's on the 5th string, isn't it? That's the 5th position. And it says a 0-0 grip in the 5th position. My first 0 means how many strings are you skipping between your thumb and first finger? 0. How many fingers? Second number is how many fingers are you skipping between the first and second finger? 0. So now you understand that's a 0-0 grip in the 5th position. So this one right here would be a 0-0 grip in the... See, you don't even need me anymore. But if you read them, I got them all wrote out for you right here. It's telling you. So if you go to the third one is a 1-0 grip in the 8th position. We play strings 6, 8, 5. We do that one all the time. That's one of our main triads, boom, closed triads. Everybody with me? Okay, just trying to make sure. All right, and it goes down just like our next to the last one is a 5-0 grip in the 10th position. In other words, you put your thumb on 10, skip 5 strings, play the 6th one, and then skip none. So you ended up on 10, 4, and 3. And it's just, I come up with this terminology because I'm trying to train your hands and get you to think through your hands, just like my tablature. When I wrote out licks in tablature, I would write thumb, slide, 1, then we'd go thumb, 1, slide. And underneath I'd write, oh, here it is. I'd write like 1 to 2, 1, and 1 to 2 to 1. The black is the fret. The top is the right hand. The X says, well, don't pick. So it's thumb, slide. Everybody see that? Thumb, slide, 1. But the key to my teaching is what's that move? Thumb 1 alternate. You're alternating your thumb against your first fingers. I think us and apes can do that, right? My dog can't do that. He can't get that dew claw to do anything. All right? But the way I teach is, okay, you can do the moves. The 32 moves that are you're going to download. You're all going to download and work on. Once you do them, then we start adding the left hand. So here's a thumb 1 alternate. Well, I'm going to put a slide. That slide, I'm just going to go from fret 1 to fret 2. It's a half-step slide, so it's thumb, slide, 1. So this would be at the 2nd fret 2. But the key right-hand move is what? Thumb 1 alternate with a slide off the first finger. Now I'm going to do it off the thumb, my bad. Now I'm going to do a thumb 1 alternate with a slide off the first finger. So I'd write that thumb 1 slide. X means don't pick, because that's ba-dum. Because I could tell you ba-da-dum. In other words, you slide and pick it when you get there. That's what that's telling you. But right now we're doing the don't pick. And this could be frets. We don't care. Strings. I could write any strings over here. It wouldn't matter. I could write 10, 10, 15. That's the frets. That's what I want you to do. Don't care. What is it? Thumb 1 alternate with a slide off the first finger. And the slide happens to be 5 frets. The right hand does not care how far the slide is. All it's doing is making the string vibrate. Period. That's all it does. But that's my building block. So when I'm playing all these fast, fancy licks, it's all coming from my little bitty moves, and I've worked on them as all little bitty. Every time, once a year, I go back and practice from zero. I don't know nothing. Once a year, for about a week, about 8 hours a day. How many here has done a month, about 10 hours every day? Oh, with weights on. Ankle and wrist weights on. You bet. But, I mean, plus, not only have I didn't start that until I was working with Charlie Pride already, had a job, and I started learning to play. Putting this, because it was like, and once I'm telling you, I did this stuff, my playing, it just started, the ability started taking off. And then I could start creating licks that never existed because I can make movements that have never been made before in combinations of movement. I can slide any direction, start anywhere, start with any finger, go in any kind of roll, any kind of alternating, any kind of chord grip, any kind of wide grip, closed grip, forward roll. It's all pre-trained into my hands. Not to mention that I do have 6 hours a night, 7 days a week, bandstand experience. Actually playing in the clubs all night long. It's like me, I don't like to shower until about 5 o'clock in the evening because I'd be getting ready to go to work. It's like getting up in the morning, take a shower. No, I'll wait till I go to work. Okay, we see our grip positions there. All right, I'm telling you here, I think of the grip notations above because I want to think of the moves and not the music. The hand then executes the moves, plays the music every time. Isn't that funny how that works? Hand that does not execute does not play the music. How many here, all of you are going to have to raise your hand, how many have fumbled around on, fling, fling, hong, whoop, wrong strings, everybody, myself included. All right, and this here explains the grip things a little more to you. So if you get home, don't remember that. That's what that's.
I just didn't understand the position.
Position is just where your thumb is, because I got to give your brain somewhere to start. I mean, this thing is so overwhelming. I mean, you look at it, you're looking at it, and you got all this stuff going on, and it's like, gosh, should have played the piccolo. Above here it says we see these four. It's the above, we see the closed triad inversions played fret to fret. So once again, we've talked about them, but I want you to go home and practice them 100 times a day. When I mean 100 times, I mean that's one. I want you to and then I want you to be able to go. Do it in a swing move, because then your move's faster. Then I want you to play first one, third one, second one, fourth one. Oh. See, I can play go from 3, 4, 5 to 10, 9, 8. Don't care. It's automatic. My hand's trained to go to any string. Don't be afraid of any string or any fret. How many here can start licks with your first finger? How many here can start all your licks with your thumb? Raise your hands. Come on. I'm telling you, I know what you do. You can train your way out of that. Because if you're starting licks with nothing but your thumb, and I wrote down, if I told you to go 1, thumb, 2, slide. Well, there you go. You got to start that with the thumb, first finger. So if you're stuck on starting everything with your thumb, guess what? I can write licks you can't play for days. Once again, them triad inversions across the string. All right, once you've done them 100 times, I want you to do them 200 times. Every day. Practice them to where they're so automatic. And once you got them and they're automatic, keep working on them. All right? All right, bottom line, it says 90% of your playing will take place on those 4 grips over strings 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Turn the page. My 3 tunings that I talked about, we've showed you. Number 1, no pedals. Are you right with me? It's like a tuning, all right? A, B down in the A pedal and F lever combination. Those are our 3 main ones. Especially when we're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Because it'll always line up some kind of triad. First open, we got what? E, A, and F sharp. Or C sharp, my bad. E, A, C sharp. First fret, we got what? F, B flat, D dog. Very good. Second fret, F sharp, B, and E flat. And that's on 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Any of them 8 grips, it works for all of them. Okay? String to string. I want you to make sure on that. You can play everything string to string. Now, on the right side of that thing where it says string to string the second time, I'm showing you, you see at the 8th fret, see the fret underneath?
I hope so. I don't get string to string though. What do you mean by that expression?
Going from string to string. These, on that page, the first page, you're on the same one, yeah. That is string to string. Because now go up to the right-hand column, and we're starting there. Now I'm going to show you why I told you string to string. Because if I played that right there, what you see at the 8th fret, which I will go to the guitar and do, what I'm talking about is doing this. That. Now I'll do it 8 just so we don't throw anybody off. All right, that was that. I'm going to play the same thing fret to fret. Because I can go or on the same string. So I can go C, 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 C. Or I can go C, C, C. Exactly the same thing, except for one was string to string, and the other was from fret to fret. 2 ways to learn the guitar, string to string, and this way and this way. So if I'm going from string to string and fret to fret, because the right hand hitting those grips, that's string to string. That was our 6, them are our 4, learn them, I'm going to say it again, learn them like that, over and over and over. And what I'll do, I'll play it at 1 fret, then go up to the next fret, go up to the next, just for something the bar. How do you do it? All right, you're watching football on Sunday. I'll sit and play guitar and watch basketball games. Don't need no sound to know if your hand hit it right. You ever figure that out? Your hand will tell you if it was going to sound right. Okay. Now we have it string to string, fret to fret. Now I'm going to talk fret to fret. The formula that I've come up with for fret to fret. To move to inversion using the bar and pedals, we can use the following rules for string groups on 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. +4 means +4 half steps, all right? Just so for reference. Number 1, if I'm playing a triad with no pedals, the next triad up is +3 frets to an AF combo. So, if I'm at the 3rd fret in the key of G with no pedals, and I'm on strings 5, 6, and 8, I got 2 things I can do. I can go to 4, 5, and 6 on the 3rd fret and play the next inversion, or I can go up +3 frets and hit AF. Anybody understand that? All right. So if I'm in B flat at 6 and I want the next B flat going up the guitar on the same strings, it's +3, go to AF combination. Period. I'm just going, duh, I'm just playing through my inversions. You with that? Okay. Number 2, if I'm playing with no pedals, the next triad down is -5 frets to AB. So if I'm at 8 playing 3, 4, and 5, and I want to go down the guitar to the next, instead of going, I'm on 3, 4, 5. All right, I could just drop down to 4, 5, 6. But I want to have a slide going to that 4, 5, 6. So I would go -5. I'm at 8. -5 would be go to 3 and hit A, B down. There's your next. See, that's what I mean by string to string and fret to fret. All right, and then I give you the example in C. Fret 8, no pedals to fret 3, A, B. Turn the page if you haven't already. Number 3, if I'm playing a triad with A, B combo, the next triad up is +5, no pedals. So I'm at 3, playing a C. If I want the next C from fret to fret, I go up 5 to 8 with no pedals. Number 4, if I'm playing a triad A-B combo, the next triad down is -4 to AF. All right, and you read through them. The shorthand, no pedals +3 to AF, AF +4 to AB. So let me go over here and show you all this mess that's written out. It sounds so complicated, but it's not. It's just remember them formulas. I'm going to do this in C. I'm going to start at the 3rd fret. I'm going to play 6, 8, 10. A, B down. What's my rule to the next one? +5, no pedals. That's what I'm talking about. Or I can do it string to string, fret to fret. Now if I'm at no pedals and I want to go up to the next inversion on the same strings, what's my formula? +3 AF. So I go 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm at AF, and I want to go to the next inversion. What's my formula? Going up. So it'll be, from AF, it'd be +4 AB. So let's look at it from the key of G, just for the fun of it. So we go to no pedals, G. Now I go what? Up 3, up 4, up 5. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're on any key at any time you're playing, I'm in E flat. I want to go to the next E flat up the guitar. I've got A, B down, +5, no pedals. Because this is where I want you all to take this. I'm going to start in the key of F, 3, 4, 5. Now on 4, 5, 6. Now why do you want to learn all these? Well, let's play something in the key of G. There's my rule. I'm applying my rules. But now, set it home, F. F sharp. G. A flat. Sorry. See the formulas? Everybody understand those? But I want you to be able to do, let's say I'm going to go through C to an F chord to a G chord. So let's just think C, F, G, C. So F, G, C. But I can go through them. All right, now, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to open up my hand. I'm going to play 4, 6, 10. That was quiet for a while, wasn't it? Do it in G. Works the same. I'll play 3, 4, 10 in G. 3, 5, and 8, 10, G. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 8, 6, 8, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Now you know why I stress it. I mean, now you guys just got to go home and put this all into your hands. I mean, you can understand the formula. Okay, it's up. All right, now do it. Because I have. G. So let's do a backward roll, and I'll put a slide on the second finger, and I will connect my inversions up the neck. Let's just tab that out for you. All right, so I was in G, and I'm gonna write traditional tab. All right, so I went da 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 da, and I did that. I'm just gonna write out here what I did that on 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. So the first thing I did was backward roll. Da da da. Yeah. See. So it's da 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 da. No, string 7, we're not even using it. All we're working about is 5, 6, and 8. So just so you can see. Everybody with me now? But see how I'm just connecting? I'm still just connecting our da 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 da. But now I'm using da. Backward roll, da da da. Backward roll still, da. Here's it starts, da da da. So now we'll go here. See, sorry. 6, 8. Da. What are we in here? We're in B 10A. 10B 10. Okay? But now, let me up here, I'm just going to write you the, if I stacked them up, those would be the chords, wouldn't they, for the key of G? And we're on, we're doing 5, 6, 8. But you know what? 3, 4, 5, any 8 of those grips, this will work on. Some are just wider, and it's going to open up the music, the harmony. But now we're doing it, and I call them the closed chords. In other words, they're the immediately next triad note is right there. So it's ba da ba 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 ba. Then it's 10A to 10 is 5, 15, 15, 15. So there's that. So that would be 15 would be the chord for G. So there's our chords. And now we are articulating the chords with a backward roll. Everybody follow the fact that I took that chord, now I'm articulated it on 5 strings, 5, 6, and 8 with a backward roll. In the middle of the backward roll, if I took out all them lines, what do you still see? See the backward roll? I'm writing it in traditional tab. So if I was to write this in my tab, this would all be, this would say, I'll just put parentheses, 2, 1, thumb. That's how I would write it. And I'd put a 3 down there to tell you the fret. Take a minute here, we'll get right back to this. I want you to move your chair stage right over. I want your belly button right about there. Now sit down and put your bar at the first fret. Now pick up your bar. All right, bad habit. I want you to take your guitar, bar and just hold it out in the air. Thumb and 2 like that. Now hold it out, take your first finger. Now set it down. There. See, you're having to re-grip it just to move it. So if I'm playing something, da-da-da-da, you have to stop and re-grip your bar to pick it up. You hold your bar, you have the right grip. It's held between the thumb and middle finger, like that. This finger, all it does is guide it down. So when I see you set your bar down, I'm going to use your guitar if I may. If I you set your bar down like that, and I say pick it up, and you have to re-grip it. Watch. Down, up, get a hold of that thing. No, it's just bad technique. You should be able to hold on to that bar. If you can't, you know, I mean, and what you do, pick it up in the morning and walk around with it. And squeezing it like that, squeezing it.
So you're saying that when you're playing,
exactly.
you never...
I'm in total control of that bar at any minute. Because the bar's playing you. Think about it. That bar is playing you. But all 175 pounds is controlling that bar. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a Zen approach, you know, I'm a bleeding heart liberal, you know, and all that stuff. But it's like, it's that approach. If you got to be able to control that, period. If I told you to do a slant, you'd have to pick it up, and you're out of steel guitar playing shape, all right? And plus, you'll practice for 2 hours. How is that every day?
Well, no, because see, I
Yeah.
12 hour shift.
That's what I mean. That's why. So that stuff, that's just crutches that are getting in your way. Because number one, their pad's so high that you're using it to lay on. Just like you see a lot of guys with double necks, the back neck is like they're, you know, they didn't have that there. It's holding them down. Where you got to be free to lift this up, free to move this way. Just like I don't advise, you know, you see them the old style, well, you lock your finger down here. You see them, they lock their finger. Well, then I got 12 strings. If I lock my finger here, how am I going to play a chord on 12, 11, and 10? So what you need to do is practice squeezing that thumb and middle finger on the bar. No, you don't even need to have it on the strings. You can walk around this like this. All the showbiz tricks. Because I literally would walk around with this all day. I got one at home with lead in it. Lead, the guy drilled it out and put lead in it. And I'd sit and practice with that. If you're having a hard time, you know, it's like the guy, he put JB Weld on it and stick up a knob on it so he could sit there and hold that knob. Well, how is he going to do vibrato when you got one? If I'm doing vibrato that's rolling like that, and he's got that knob on there, you know, he he has no vibrato. It's like, do some vibrato. Okay, hold on. We're gonna use you as my personal guinea pig. Now look at the way I want you to look at the way you're holding the bar. Hold on, let me get it in there. Now I want you to look at me. Take your bar away, and I want just your thumb and middle finger and squeeze them together. Now take your bar and put it between them and hold it with the thumb and middle finger, just like that. There you go. That's awkward now because you ain't used those muscles to squeeze like that because you're just guiding the bar. You're not holding your bar, you're guiding it. See what I'm saying? So I want you to lift it up just like that, and I'll hold it for you. I'll help you with the power. All right, see? Because that's part of your tone. That is part of your tone.
And that's going to help because one of my problems has been pencil, where you pick it up.
All right, now you just did it without even
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't a problem now because you're holding it
This
right.
is not happening.
This is holding it. These two are holding it. All this does is put the pressure down. And you want some slight pressure going into the strings as you go up, you know, just as I push it down. You want that. You don't want to bend them to the fretboard, but you want to be able to control that. If I'm in the key of F, everybody, and I'm on strings 3, 4, and 5, and I go up to the fret 4 and hit A and F on strings 4, 5, and 6, what notes have I changed? Think about it. Let me play it for you just so your ears will tell you. Here's what I'm talking about. It's all the same. All I did was go up my inversions but drop my right hand down. Now watch this. I'm going to go from F's to F's, only I'm going to go up the inversions. My right hand's going to go up the triad. This is how I've trained my body to, so to me it's just, okay, do that. See all the different, by training, you'll come up with new licks just because you can make new moves. All right? Where'd my sheet go? Now we've talked about the fretboard here where it says fretboard. I want you to read that and while you're looking at it, fretboard, so you know where your fretboard is and how to get around on it. In other words, when you look at fret 12 or fret 9, 7 or 5, 21, I don't want it. No hesitation. Your left hand should go right to it automatically. All right? C harmonized scale. We take a C scale pattern in C. Everybody follow that part? You know where I'm at now? C, D, E, F, G. That's the major scale. Let me play it. On the 10th string, I just played it. Now what I'm going to do is take, what's our next note to make a chord? Whoops, wrong guitar. I'm playing my guitar. This ain't it. There's an E. So it'll be E. Add the third note. C, E, G. So turn the page, please. C, E, G, right there. We all see it on our things. That's the notes of the chord stack to get our chords. Next one is D, F, A, and then we got E, G, B, C, A, F. But all them things, it's a harmonized scale. Every note is part of the C scale. But we combine them and stack them together to get chords. So our first chord we get is a C major, 1, 3, 5. That's C, E, G. The second chord is a D minor, D, F, A. Third chord is an E minor, E, G, B. F, A, C is an F chord, G, B, D is a G. A, C, E is an A minor, and a B, D, F is a diminished. But look at the notes, every one of them. You don't see no sharps or flats. It's all C, D, E, F, G, A, B. When we add the fourth note, the 7 notes in the scale are put together to create the chords of the C family. So you got C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and C. Again, starting over. Those is called a harmonized scale. Now when we add the fourth note, we get C, E, G, B, we get a C major 7th, D minor, they're all there. Okay, now, next part it says chord to triplets. Now what I've done is taken a C scale. Let me play the first part, measure 1 and 2. See the measure numbers? That D on this, whenever you see the tab with the notes on top, the D means flat your E's, okay, just for reference. And I say that somewhere in there. Let me just look, see what I played. I made it too hard by trying to read it. I did this. Okay? That's what's written. Now what I'm doing now, I'm going to take that same thing and play forward rolls over each of the chords. So when I'm going from chords to triplets, that's why I called it that. So it's chords, triplets, so in other words, gee, if I can play the chords, I can play the triplets. Now then we're just what? Straight up forward rolls, weren't they? Look at the tab. See the forward rolls in 3 and 4? I just took each chord and made it a da 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 instead of the chord all together. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you a loop. I'm going to play instead of playing thumb 1, 2, I'm going to go 1, 2, thumb over each one. Now I'm going to do backward rolls. Now I'm going to do a forward roll starting on the second finger, which is 2, thumb 1. So it's no pedals. Push down just the A pedal, and you can study that as a tuning. Push down just the B pedal, you can study it as a tuning. Just the flat your E's, study it as a tuning. Raise your F, study it as a tuning. And I do it all in the neutral key of C, just so you can see Because you learn everything in C and everything transposes. Now, why I've got that up there, look at the different, all the things that are, the way I teach is the fact you got to, all the things that are going on, I want you to learn them separately. In other words, don't let this get in the way of this until you can do this. You know, so if we look at all the things that are going on, right, you got your bar, there's each knee lever. I got a camera on each knee. I did it with this guitar right here. Your pedals, right hand, and this is like I showed this so you can see the blocking. But I mean, you see what all has to take place at once for you to play, right there. Now, 3-finger drills. But what I'm talking about my 3-finger drills is I just want you to sit there, thumb, 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 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. In other words, to do repetitions, because that's when you're going to do, when you play music, you're going to be doing. And then in the next one, measure 3 is thumb, thumb, 2, 2, 1, thumb. See the moves? So it's 2 thumbs, 1, 2, and then a backward roll. And then 2 middle fingers. See what I mean, you guys can see this now, what it is, how you would play that. This here, how you would have to finger it. Because I want you to, in other words, I got your 3 fingers on the strings, and you're just, I want you to go da 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 da. Just to learn to separate your fingers. All right, now, right here, I want to see you do that. I want you to see, here, I'll hold this here. Play that first 2 measures for me. All right. I want you to do that again. Actually, like I said, get your video camera and tape your fingers and stuff, and you will start to see this stuff. You'll see it on your own, because you don't see it sitting there. Because a lot of times, this is so hard, and you're, depending on your level, you're just struggling to get out what you can get out, right? I mean, let's face it. But if you sit down and say, okay, let me play a little bit, let me videotape it, and then stop, and I'll tell you another way to watch it, is watch yourself with the sound off. Shut the sound off and watch yourself play, and then, because you'll notice the, all right, let me switch camera, skip. All right, there we go, nice shot, look at that. Nice, pretty Emmons. All right, now why it's a different color is because of these fluorescents. Because I didn't set the white balance, I'll do that, let the computer do all that. But now, I want him to play my first little drill, and he's got to do, what was it? 4 thumbs, 4 1s, and 4 2s. That's all it is. 8th fret. He's got that. Now watch him do the thumbs. Watch him do the up, up. Now, when you go to the 1, put that 2nd finger on the string and do not move it. All right, number 1, slow down. There. Now, don't bring your thumb up in the air. Just push through it. No. Push through the string. That's all. There. That's the picking motion. That's all you need. See what I'm saying? All right. That subtle little change is what you've been looking for. Because everything's a big. No, it's a. Because I mean, how much power does it take to make that string go da 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 da? You got enough power in that little short stroke. Sort of like Joe Louis when he boxed. They said he could hit you from here and knock you out because he had that much power in that little bit of distance. Okay, now do your first finger. Don't move nothing. There. That's good. Now do your 2nd finger. Keep that there. See how hard that is to keep 1 down? But that's what I got you doing. Now look at your movement already. Look at your hand. You're hardly even moving at all, and you're doing everything you need to do to make the notes come to life. You see what I'm saying? Now you'll set that. Now another way to do that is get you a camera and put your TV right there in front of you. And set yourself up, you know. You can buy a digital camera now for like $100 and just run it to your TV and analyze yourself. You know, set it up, say, man, what's going on here? And you'll see a lot. I did that for because I always just was in the back playing steel, you know, just part of the band. All of a sudden now I'm out front doing shows. So I'd sit and watch myself do a show, and I'd be talking, and I'd have my hand up here doing this. I broke myself of that habit. Measure 5, please. All right, my bad. Go 2, 3. I'm sorry. My bad. Let me hold it for you. Here, I got it right here. You don't have to look over there. But you see the drills now, how I want you, and that's the speed I want you to practice them at, right there. Now I love your thumb you've already improved your thumb technique. I don't know if you know that, just by pushing through the string. Because you were going like swoop, you know, you're making this big swoop to pick that string, and it's just bop. And there's power there. In other words, take your thumb pick and push it through the string and go right up there, right up against the next string. That's the move. The only time you want to come up is when you have to come up to move. To get, you know, to go to the next grip or something. Because if you're going to come just enough, if you're doing over and over, you want to come up just enough to get back to where you got to be. Very good. Looking good. Well, 1 and 2. I'm going to get the tape out and tape them together here in a minute. If you're having trouble with the finger, and it's not doing what you want, take the other hand, reach over there and hold it down. Because that's what's happening. When people are playing with this, if they pick their second finger, their whole hand goes. And that's the problem you're running into. I don't care, palm, pick, blocking, it don't matter to me. They're both legitimate, they both can be done. I use palm blocking when I want a certain percussive sound because it's cupping, my hands down there cupping, that's all. If I want real clean and fast and the most possibilities, I'll have my hand up. It'll be totally suspended in the air. It'll be like a classical piano player, because that's how I learned to play steel. 1984, I was working with Charlie Pride. July, we were off. I was on salary, so I sat around. I went out and I didn't have a TV, so I went about a little 6-inch, well, it was just a black and white. It had a record player and a radio and everything. That was my entertainment center. I was a musician, you know, not very rich. But anyway, I remember sitting and watching the Olympics and watching these guys run 100 meters. You know, and you look at about, what, under 10 seconds, you know, and it's like the time they put in to run that 10 seconds. To me, I related that to steel. Because, you know, it's nice, all the pretty stuff, then all of a sudden you got to have a burst. But to get that 10-second run, he had to work on what? Getting in the gates, coming out of the gates, doing a stroke, doing the fin, you know, all the little things, just strut. And I started applying myself to the pedal steel that way, where I started training, because I was already playing music. Shoot, I was working for Charlie Pride, Yippee Skippy. I was getting to go all around the world. And that right then, I started like, And then I watched, about the same time, I saw a classical piano player, and I turned and looked at the TV, and there was no sound. And that's where I started developing technique for steel. Because I just knew the way we were teaching it, I call it the good old boy method, you know. Joe knows the lick, so he shows Sharon a lick. Then Sharon knows the lick, she shows him a lick. They don't show you nothing but a couple of licks. You still don't know why them licks, you might not even know where to put them, but man, you can play that lick. But the way I train, I'm trying to train you to play any lick, anytime, any place, any key, anywhere, don't care. And it's up to you to do the work. I cannot do it for you. All right, you see all these finger drills here that I'm talking about? What I've got you doing basically is you got your thumb 1 and 2 on 3 strings, and they just learn to stay right there on them 3 strings and maybe 2 of 1, 1 of 1, 2. They're just different combinations. So sit at home and practice them. And just like when his fingers did not come up, you don't want them to come up all the time. You want to stay down there close to your work. Unless you're trying to show off, you know, hey, watch me, like I flip my bar. Okay, big deal. All right, C to B flat chords. Here's a cool little lick. Now, like if you're going from C to F, you can use that C to B flat chords because it's got a B flat, which is a dominant 7th of C, to go to. Now I will play this. We're on 3, 4, 5, 8. So it's but see where I'm going to C to B flat? Same as going from 8 to 6. Well, I am going to 9, dropping down. Now if I was to play it going up, let's say I'll start at 3 in C, and I'm going to go C to B flat to C to B flat going up the guitar. Now I'll add some finger moves. C to B flats. But if you notice that, like if I'm going C7 to F, now watch me use C to B flat chords just to set it up to get there. So I'll start at 11, 3, 4, and 5, A, F lever. All right, that's the C to F. Let me see what your other ones are. 5, 6. All right, that's the one. Starting in fret. See the fret markers, everybody? Fret 5. Everybody with me? C to B flat chords. Fret 5. Starting there. Here's what I got written. Now what I've got here is just all the different ways I come up with. The next 2 pages are C, D minor, E. It's all this stuff here. That was frets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Measures 1, 2, 3, and 4. Frets. Measures 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are everybody with me on that? All right, that's just one way of playing C. All right, now frets 5, 6, 7, and 8 would be where am I? Is that half A? 13D. Oh, there it is. That 11, where it says 11D, it's flat your E's at 11, and the half A. That 0 thing. But now look at this C harmonic scales. Now look at the, I don't care if you read notes or not, look at the notes. Notice that all the notes, there are no sharps or flats. They're all, any note of all them chords, everything I've just played has been a C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But you have these things all over the guitar. So it's like C, C. Oh, C. I just played my guitar, sorry. Just, they're all over the place. So all those are just different ways to find those things, all up and down the neck, different string combinations. And I think I played them all with closed chords. Yep. Nope, nope, nope. I get back. When you get into measure 63, you're going to have wide open ones. But every one of those is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do in chords. So they're all tabbed out, the notes are above, so you can work on them at home, on your own. On the back, same thing. It's just more of them. I mean, you have another 24 measures of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do in chords. The very back page. So then it'd be, instead of just a D or C chord, it's a C major chord with all 4 notes. From what song? Yeah.
And when you do that, then the D minor becomes like a D minor 7.
It's a D minor 7th. E minor 7th. The F is a F major 7th. The G is a G dominant 7th. The A is a A minor 7th. And the B is a B half diminished. Now, that I explained that on the DVD for you. So, just to hear it, if I played it in just straight chords, in 4 notes, A minor 7th, right there, B half diminished, oh, C major 7th. But you hear the 4 note chords. All we're doing is adding another note, and in there, I show you where I add another notes that names the chords. It's in there. There is no tab for it. All right, for the actual where to find it. Any questions? Yeah.
It's about positioning. You were talking to him to sit over.
Oh, okay, real quickly. I'm 6'2". He's about my height. And what he was doing, he was way over here, so he was real straight on his legs. And I find if you're over here and you're going out to your pedals, you have more flexibility. Plus, if I'm here, I have nice, if you're here and I want to play it up here, most people they'll do all kinds. They'll start tipping their body. But if you move here, I'm right about 17. My belly button's at 17. Your belly button, you might want to be at 16. Hers, she might want to go to 15. But you want to be able to come out to your legs rather than, so square at it. That's all I was saying. And ergonomically to free your ankle from your hip to your knee, see how this is just slightly downhill. Like she's sitting in a chair, which is not right because her knee is higher than her hip. So if she's got to work her pedals, it's like I was showing you. Even any of you, put your knee past your ankle and then try it. You cannot rock your ankle, right? I mean, it's without, you got to move your whole knee to rock it. Yeah. Right, I mean, you want to be at your, like he's like he says, he's usually higher, he's just got the chair because he didn't want to bring his pack seat. But yes, your guitar should be made to fit you. Yes, sir.
What about breathing? Breathing while you're playing?
I recommend it highly. All right, you set me up for that one now.
Is there
All right, yes, very much so. I'll tell you what, when you're on a stage and you start to get nervous, what you start doing, don't have to be on a stage, you'll be going to the doctor. You're starting to get nervous, you feel that feeling, that anxiety or anything, what do you, first thing you start doing? You start shortening it, you're not breathing. If you ever get nervous for any reason, skin your brain, go, all right, breathe. Because if you're going, and that's all you care about is make sure you breathe, your nerves are going to settle. Unless you're up against the wall and the cops got you. But you know what I'm saying? But yes, you want to, because a lot of times you'll see, I'll start getting into it and you start holding your breath. And you're holding your breath. Well, that's going to, all the, I'm no doctor enough, but that starts tightening up your muscles and everything's not working. And it starts you start shutting down. Everything tightens up. What used to be easy, all of a sudden, feels like somebody, geez, feels like Joe's here with me and he's standing right here on this shoulder. But when you're playing, breathe, you know, because you want to be, I mean, this is hard enough to be, not to be relaxed trying to play. I mean, if you know, I mean, it's like, if you can breathe nice and easy. So, any more questions before they come in?
Do you have any advice on the volume pedal? I've had people tell me to press it down when I'm playing, and I've had people tell me to back off when
Number one, take your volume pedal and practice totally without it. You know what I'm saying? The volume pedal should just be an add-on. If you can't play it, you know, a volume pedal a lot of times is their crutch. Sort of like palm blocking. They got that hand right there just in case they make any mistake. Ooh, I can cover it. Immediately stop it. But no, a little bit of volume pedal goes a long way. Learn to play without it. Set it and move your foot to the side if you want to, and just, because if you can play smooth without a volume pedal, what you want to use the volume pedal for, of course, you know, you get louder, but you play a note and you want the note to ring out a little more. As it starts to die out naturally, well, you just give it a little gas to hold it. But I mean, I've seen it to me where I've been playing and my volume pedal, you know, the nerves can act funny and all of a sudden you can't move your volume pedal. You're so locked up, nervous, you know. Been there. I wish I could get nervous now, playing a steel guitar in front of people. I don't. I have no, I mean, you people, when I'm on that stage Saturday night, you people are sitting in my living room, technically. But yeah, just that, and literally work on volume pedal stuff to where your ankle's free, where you can move it, you know, and find a nice happy medium. A pot pedal, if you're running a pot pedal, which that is, you want to be about halfway through. There's a better tone in a pot pedal. When you open it up, it gets a better tone on your guitar rather than if you're playing down. So if you need to get more of your volume pedal, you turn down your amp so you can get into more of it. But you still want to have a little bit. It's sort of like when you're passing a car. If you're driving an S10 with a 4-banger, you don't pass a car. When you're in my Silverado with an 8-banger, I got that little extra to go around. And that's all. The volume pedal, a little bit goes a long way. And it's no more, you know how I practice my right hand, my bar? We didn't even get to sliding the bar today. But when I talk about the left hand, I apply that same principle to my ankles. That what we've talked about today with those 32 moves, I work on, and I'm talking working on my volume pedal while I'm not doing anything else. Just to understand, so your muscles understand the physical move. Because here you are trying to play Sweet Leilani, Heavenly Flower, and worrying about this all of a sudden. Well, when you're worrying about this, that takes away from this. When you worry about this, that takes away from... That's why when you saw my videos up there where I showed you everything on the thing that's happening, you know, the only thing you didn't see up there was a volume pedal. Because the volume pedal was full on, I never touched it. But another thing people say, well, Joe, do you pick hard? Do you pick soft? Yep. There's no one way. Well, dobro, you have to pick hard. No, you pick depending on what you're trying to say. Sometimes if I'm playing AC/DC on the steel, I'm ripping them off. I'm just trying to rip them off. But if I'm playing some, you know, Sweet Memories, it's a whole different. You control. Control your body that controls the instrument. Okay? Thanks, everybody.